Hi, I'm Zina from the Gemmy Raven, and today we're going to paint this beautiful glitter moth in Procreate together. I will be using my Procreate set, which includes all the brushes you need, but if you don't have my set, don't worry, you can still follow along. The main thing is that you will need some glitter brushes to make your moth really shine, and there are both free and paid glitter brushes available. First, let's create a new canvas. In your gallery, tap the plus sign to make a new square canvas. Now we want to create a dark background. Tap on the layers, select background, and then pick a dark color. Next, go to the brush library and choose stamp number 10 from the set. If you don't have the set, just sketch the moth shape that you prefer. I will be using a light color to stamp the moth onto the canvas. Once you've placed your moth, you can use the snapping tool to make sure it's centered. You will see orange lines showing you when it's aligned. After that, lower the opacity of this layer and lock it by swiping left on the layer and tapping lock. Create a new layer below the locked sketch layer. You can use a texture brush like the 6B pencil in Procreate, or you can use the texture brush from my set. Pick a light color and begin drawing the moth's head, following the outlines of the stamp for a clean edge. Once you've outlined the head, fill it in with your texture pencil. Don't worry about getting it perfectly smooth. Little imperfections will be covered later with the glitter outline. For the body, create another layer, choose a color slightly darker than the first one, and follow the same process. Outline the body, then fill it in. Once that's done, we can move on to the wings. Create another layer above the body layer and choose your darkest color. For the wings, first outline them, then fill them in with your brush. Don't stress about being super precise, since you can fix any small mistakes later. Once you've finished one wing, swipe to the left on the layer and tap Duplicate. Then use the arrow tool to flip it horizontally and align it. This will save you some time. Merge the two layers. After that, lower the opacity of the sketch layer just a little and create a new layer above the wing layer. Tap on the layer and set it to a clipping mask. Change the blend mode to multiply. Now take the same color you used for the wings and add a little shadow to give them depth. Use the smudge finger tool with the same brush to blend the shadows and make them more subtle. Repeat this for the body and head. Create new clipping mask layers for both and set them to multiply. Add shadows to the body and head, then use the smudge finger tool to blend those shadows smooth. This gives the moth a bit of texture. Let's add some highlights now. Create a new layer above the previous ones, set it to a clipping mask as well, and choose the same base color. Change the blend mode to add. This will create very bright highlights. With the smudge finger tool, soften the transitions between the highlights and the rest of the moth. Don't forget, this is all about making the moth look more interesting and three-dimensional. It doesn't have to look super realistic. Once you're happy with the highlights, you can adjust the opacity of this layer to your liking. I usually set it around 50% for a subtle glow. Do the same for the body and the head. Now it's time to add glitter. Create a new layer above everything and pick a glitter brush. I'm going with an orange tone because it really makes the glitter shine. Start by outlining the moth's antennas and follow the lines of your moth stamp. You can adjust the brightness by going over some areas more than once. Once the outline is done, fill in the blobs with the glitter brush. Next, select the luminance liner or the light pen brush and highlight some of the edges to give them a glowing effect. This brush is pressure sensitive, so you can vary the thickness of your lines by adjusting how hard you press. To add some extra magic and sparkles, create a new layer and choose a glowing star stamp. Add stars to the wings and some parts of the moth. If you want them to really glow, tap twice on the canvas to enhance the glow. Then use the Stardust brush or any similar brush with small particles to add some more glitter around the moth. I'm sticking with the orange color. For the background, create a new layer below the moth and select the shiny bubble brush from my set or something similar. Set the layer blend mode to add and lower the opacity so the bubbles are subtle in the background. Create another layer above that and use the Stardust brush and add some glitter to the background. You can use a bigger brush for this to cover the entire canvas. Next, use the Bloom Bouquet brush or any airbrush tool to create a soft glowing outline around the moth. Tap on the wand, select Gaussian Blur and slide your pencil to around 10%. Change the layer blend mode to add and lower the opacity until it looks just right. Now let's add some shadows. Duplicate all the layers that have the moth's base colors, so the head, the body and the wings. Tap on each layer, tap on select. Choose a dark color, tap on the layer again and tap on fill. Do this for every layer you just duplicated. Then move them below the moth layers but above the glowing outline. Merge the layers and apply a Gaussian blur around 5% to soften the shadows. This adds depth to the moth and helps it stand out from the background. Finally, add your signature. If you have a stamp for your signature or something similar, place it on the canvas and lower the opacity so it doesn't distract from the moth. And that's it! The glitter moth is finished. Thank you so much for following along with me. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you like this tutorial, I think you might enjoy my Procreate Moth set demo video too, so check that out next. Thank you again and see you next time!